Long ago, in a land of fire temples and forgotten kings, a serpent-shouldered tyrant ruled over Persia. His name was Zahhak, and with every drop of innocent blood he spilled, the snakes on his shoulders grew stronger. But his curse foretold a prophecy. One day, a hero would rise from the mountains and end his reign of terror. This isn't just a myth. It's the symbolic beginning of Iran's fight for justice, a theme that echoes through its entire history. Stay with us. Welcome to Nations of the World. Every Sunday we uncover the soul of a different country through its legends, geography, history and people. Like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which nation you want next. Last week we asked, which ancient Nepalese script, used for centuries in religious texts, is still taught in Kathmandu's monasteries today? The answer, Ranjana script. Now here's this week's quiz. Which Persian prophet founded one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions? Stay to the end for the answer. Iran lies in Western Asia, bordered by Iraq, Turkey, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan and Pakistan, with the Caspian Sea to the north and the Persian Gulf to the south. It spans 1.65 million square kilometers, or 636,000 square miles, making it one of the largest countries in the Middle East. Tehran, the bustling capital, sits at the foot of the Alborz Mountains. From vast deserts like Dasht-e-Kavir to snowy mountain ranges and lush forests along the Caspian, Iran's geography is as diverse as its people. Its population exceeds 88 million, mostly ethnic Persians, but with Kurds, Azeris, Baluchis, Arabs and more woven into the nation's fabric. Let's return to Zahhak, because in Iranian mythology his defeat by the blacksmith Kaveh wasn't just a fairy tale. It symbolized the eternal struggle against oppression, a theme that has echoed through Iran's long and turbulent history. Around 3,000 years ago, the Medes united various Iranian tribes to form the first known Iranian kingdom. This union paved the way for something greater: the rise of the Achaemenid Empire under Cyrus the Great in 550 BCE. Cyrus was no ordinary conqueror. He ruled with an unusual policy of tolerance and respect. When he conquered Babylon, he freed the Jewish people from captivity, allowing them to return to Jerusalem, a radical act that earned him a lasting place in history. The Cyrus Cylinder, often called the world's first charter of human rights, records his vision of justice and harmony. Following Cyrus, rulers like Darius and Xerxes expanded the empire to become the largest the ancient world had ever seen, stretching from the shores of Greece to the Indus Valley in India. The capital, Persepolis, was a breathtaking city of marble terraces, grand palaces and intricate reliefs depicting peoples from every corner of the empire bringing tribute. But Persia's glory wasn't immune to change. In 330 BCE, Alexander the Great's armies swept through, toppling the empire. Yet this conquest wasn't only destruction, it sparked a fusion of cultures. Persian art, governance and ideas mixed with Greek Hellenistic influences, creating a new era of cultural exchange. After the Hellenistic period, the Parthians rose to power, fiercely resisting Roman advances and keeping Iranian traditions alive. The Sassanid Empire followed, marking the last great Persian dynasty before Islam. The Sasanians renewed Zoroastrianism as the state religion and built magnificent cities, while their artists and scholars laid foundations for Persian art and culture that would influence generations. But what happens when poetry meets revolution? Stick around. Iran's modern story is just as intense as its ancient past. The 7th century Arab Muslim conquest introduced Islam, forever changing the region's religious landscape, but Persia did not vanish. It adapted and flourished, becoming a center of the Islamic Golden Age. Persian scholars like Avicenna and Al-Farabi advanced medicine, philosophy and science, preserving knowledge that would eventually flow into Europe and beyond. One of Iran's most profound transformations came with the Safavid Empire in the 16th century. Shah Ismail I established Twelver Shia Islam as the official state religion, distinguishing Iran from its Sunni neighbors and forging a unique religious and cultural identity that remains today. Fast forward to the 20th century, Iran faced modernization and upheaval. The 1906 constitutional revolution planted early democratic ideals, creating a parliament and a constitution that sought to limit royal power. But oil, discovered at the turn of the century, brought foreign interference and internal strife. In 1953, Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh's bold move to nationalize the oil industry was crushed by a CIA-backed coup, plunging the country into political chaos. This event sowed deep mistrust toward the West that still resonates. Finally, the 1979 Islamic Revolution dramatically reshaped Iran, ending the monarchy, establishing a theocratic republic led by Ayatollah Khomeini, and setting the stage for decades of political tension, sanctions, and resistance. Today, Iran's history is a story of resilience, a land shaped by myth and empire, faith and revolution, holding fast to its ancient soul even as it faces a complex modern world. Iran's flag is green, white and red, symbolizing Islam, peace and courage. The emblem in the center represents the word Allah and echoes both a tulip and a sword. Its national flower, the red tulip, said to have grown from the blood of martyrs, and Iran's symbol of ancient purity, fire, a sacred element in Zoroastrianism kept alive in temples for centuries. Iran's folklore is vast. In the Shahnameh, a 1,000-year-old Persian epic poem that preserved Iran's language and history after the Arab conquest, you'll meet dragons, giant birds like the Simurgh, and moral heroes like Rostam. Rostam isn't just any hero, he's Persia's version of Hercules, a towering figure who fought monsters, rode a mighty steed named Raksh, and defended kings across generations. But his most famous story is also the most tragic. In a twist of fate, Rostam unknowingly kills his own son Sohrab in battle, only realizing the truth when it's too late. That moment of victory turned into unbearable loss has haunted Persian literature and identity for centuries. It's a reminder that even the strongest can fall, and that fate, in Iran's epic imagination, is always watching. These stories weren't just entertainment. They kept Persian language and identity alive through conquests and colonial pressure. Even today, Iranian children grow up with tales of courage, magic, and the eternal battle between good and evil, echoing the legacy of Zahhak. As the great poet Rumi once wrote, "Raise your words, not your voice. It is rain that grows flowers, not thunder." This spirit of resilience and poetic beauty runs deep in Iranian culture. Iran has the world's fourth largest proven oil reserves and second largest gas reserves. But due to decades of sanctions, especially from the US, its economy has struggled with inflation, unemployment, and currency devaluation. Yet, Iranian innovation thrives, from local manufacturing to underground tech startups. Agriculture, mining, and handicrafts also support rural livelihoods. Iran's official language is Persian, or Farsi, written in Arabic script but rooted in an entirely different family. Persian literature includes some of the most influential poets in history: Hafez, Saadi, Ferdowsi, and Rumi. Religion-wise, Iran is predominantly Shia Muslim, a distinction that sets it apart from many Sunni-majority neighbors. Iran is a paradox. Ancient and modern, sacred and rebellious, hidden and defiant, it's a place where thousand-year-old poetry lives alongside encrypted messaging apps, where the ruins of Persepolis whisper to space scientists in Tehran. Yes, tensions with Israel today often make headlines, particularly around nuclear capabilities. Israel fears Iran's potential bomb. Iran cites its right to defend itself, but beyond the politics, this nation is full of humanity, art, and resilience. If you enjoyed discovering the myths and soul of Iran, subscribe and comment which country we should visit next. And here's your quiz again. Which Persian prophet founded one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions? Answer: Zoroaster. Nations of the world will be back after a short summer break in September, but we'll still be posting YouTube shorts and debunking myths every Wednesday with History Got It Wrong. In the meantime, revisit our episodes and keep exploring. And if you're curious about Iran's neighbors, our Oman episode is already waiting, with tales of ancient sailors, frankincense trails, and a pivotal role in global exploration. Thank you for joining us, and remember, behind every border lies a story.